This year's X-Men annual kind of called out AI artists, at least in my opinion. Let me give my thoughts on this issue and explain. So right away, the art style is the standout for this comic. Jean looked amazing. I'm not a huge Jean Grey fan, but this was definitely her comic, and she was drawn and colored to look so cosmic and powerful. It was just really cool to see, and it really helped them immerse me into the story. And I love the art style so much that I'm actually going to be looking for other comics done by this specific art team. Just a really beautiful comic. I feel like annuals can get kind of basic because they're trying to appeal to everybody, so it can kind of at times take a break from the main story that has been being built up. But I thought the plot was pretty interesting. This is kind of niche, but there is a meme directed at AI artists who produce art through AI because they feel like they are not able to make art themselves. And so there's this meme that gets dropped a lot in the comment section for AI art, and it's of Superman giving the AI artist a pencil and telling them that they're more talented than they think they are and to just try. And that's what Jean essentially does in this comic. So in this story, the X-Men are attacked by a mutant named Bobby, who is able to create into reality anything that he imagines, but he believes he has no imagination anymore. And so he kidnaps artists to draw things for him to look at, and so that he can create those things into real life. And he uses that to attack the X-Men with like these super huge monsters. We find out that he was formerly a student at Xavier's, but he was kind of bullied and ostracized from the other mutants, and so he felt like he didn't belong, and so he left, and now he's mad at the X-Men. And this is just my take on it, but this really reminds me of how some AI artists started out wanting to make art themselves, but were maybe told that they weren't good enough or they just lacked belief in themselves, and so now they turn to AI art because they don't think that they can actually create art themselves. And not only is this a bad practice for the environment, AI takes up large portions of water to sustain itself, but this is also just bad for themselves because it causes them to give up on creating art, and it makes it where they just use AI and rely on AI when in reality they could be making beautiful human art, which will always be better than anything a computer can come up with. Art is a form of communication, and a computer is not going to communicate the things that a human is able to do. Art is a very human and intimate form of communication that humans have with each other, so you can't have a machine replace that. And the story ends with Jean showing sympathy to Bobby and encouraging him to use his imagination and telling him that he does in fact have imagination and talent. He tries really hard and is eventually able to imagine a superhero who we get a flashback and find out that he used to draw this superhero, and he was made fun of for drawing this superhero, and that's what kind of caused him to give up on his imagination and to believe that he's not able to imagine things anymore. But he's able to now bring the superhero to life from reality to fight these monsters that he has brought into reality. And yeah, it ends with this superhero that looks a lot like Superman and Spider-Man, helping the X-Men defeat these giant monsters, and Bobby apologizes to the X-Men, and the X-Men promise to take him in and help him. I love when new mutants are introduced with new powers, because at this point you have to get so creative with their powers because there's been so many mutants. And this was really cool. The idea of being able to bring to life anything you can imagine. A little Green Lantern-y, but and definitely OP, but still really cool to see in this universe. Overall, a pretty interesting story, and again, the art is the standout. I'm going to give this year's X-Men annual 4.5 out of 6 Snicks. It's worth a read.